The most reps you have is 4 at a time. You got 4 reps, then somebody else coming. That's it. And you got to be able to give it your all in 4 darn reps.
Absolutely.
Hour and 8, we gonna go hard. We gonna throw the ball to our team. We gonna catch the ball. We gonna run great routes. We getting to the football. We understand that.
Yes, sir.
Hour and 8 minutes.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Morning Wood with yours truly, Uncle Neely. And y'all know how the world feels about Mondays. Monday was yesterday, but we got to talk about it today because Mondays are Mondays. I don't care whether you're working at the bank, driving a truck, running a business, coaching football, or playing football. Monday got a way of letting you know it's Monday. But let me tell y'all something. What I saw from the Colorado Buffaloes yesterday, that wasn't no Monday practice. High energy, focus, effort, attention to detail, and I need y'all to understand why that stood out to me. These young men that just spent an entire week away from home in Colorado Springs, in those tight dorm rooms with no AC, just football, just meetings, just practice, just football, just meetings, just practice. Then they finally come back to Boulder. Coach Prime gives them about a day and a half to themselves. And you know how that goes. You get back to your apartment, your own bed, your people, your car, your PlayStation, your girlfriend. Uber Eats done found your address again. Life is back. And after all of that freedom, they walked back into practice on Monday and went to work. That's what got my attention because anybody can be focused when Coach Prime is taking away every damn distraction you have. The question is, what happens when he gives the distractions back? And Monday, the Buffs answered that question, at least for one day. They came back focused, they came back with energy, they came back working. And that tells me that maybe Colorado Springs accomplished exactly what Coach Prime wanted it to accomplish. Now let's talk some football, because yesterday we heard from the big fellas press conferences. And Colorado offensive line situation is getting real interesting. Offensive line coach Gunnar White basically said, don't ask him for his starting 5 right now. Matter of fact, ask him the night before the game. But here's the part that got me. Colorado believes it may have 8, 9, maybe 10 offensive linemen capable of playing winning football. And they're not just talking about having depth for emergencies. They're talking about potentially rotating offensive linemen. Hold on, dog. Because that ain't normal. Defensive linemen rotate. Running backs rotate. Receivers rotate. You generally want those 5 offensive linemen learning how to operate like 5 fingers on a hand. Same communication, same calls, same timing, same chemistry. But Colorado's looking around that room saying, we may have too many dudes we trust to leave 5 of them standing by us all night on the sideline. And that's a hell of a problem to have, especially considering what we've been talking about with this offensive line since Coach Prime arrived. For 3 years, everybody's been asking, can Colorado protect the quarterback? Can they run the football? Can they control the line of scrimmage? Well, now the conversation may be changing from, can Colorado find 5 to, how in the hell does Colorado decide which 8 or 9 to play? That's different. And Coach Gunnar White ain't backing down from what offense coordinator Brendan Marion wants offensively either. Everything we're hearing from the staff points toward physicality, violence, running the football. That violence up front is nasty. And having enough bodies to maintain that physicality for 4 quarters, Colorado's own camp reporting says that the staff sees 8, 9, even 10 linemen capable of playing winning football. But here's my question, and this is what I'm watching. Can you rotate offensive linemen without sacrificing chemistry? Because September 3rd, you ain't practicing against Colorado anymore. You're in the ATL, and you're playing Georgia Tech. And Juju Lewis ain't going to give a damn how many offensive linemen you can play. He's going to care about whether the 5 standing in front of him know exactly what they're doing. So I love the depth. I love the competition. But eventually, we're going to see somebody got to become that 5. I'm looking forward to it for these next 3 weeks. The battle starts now. Or maybe Colorado's about to show us something offensively that we don't normally see. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. Y'all need to stay tuned as well. Yesterday wasn't only about football. And this right here might have been my favorite part of the entire day on Monday. Coach Prime brought in one of his childhood friends, Richard Fain. And if you followed Prime for a long time, that name means something because Richard goes all the way back to Prime's North Fort Myers days. He's even known as the man who named Primetime, Primetime. And he spent years teaching financial education and wealth building. He's previously appeared on the pregame discussing finances and his history with Coach Prime. Coach Prime didn't bring Richard Fain in to talk cover 2. He didn't bring him in to discuss Georgia Tech. He didn't bring him in to teach somebody how to get off a block. He brought him in to talk about money, 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 money. Financial planning, financial literacy, and building wealth. And he didn't just speak to the players, he met with the staff separately too. Now I'm gonna ask y'all something. It's August. We're in fall camp. Every coach in America is counting reps, installing plays, watching film, building depth charts, preparing for their week 1 games. And Coach Prime said, hold up, dog. We're gonna make time to teach these young men and these grown men about their money. Tell me how many college football programs in America are intentionally carving out fall camp time for that. Because Coach Prime understands something. Football can change your bank account, but football ain't gonna teach you what to do with the money once it gets in your pocket. NIL has young men making money earlier than they've ever made it before. Some of these kids got more money hitting their account at 18, 19, 20 years old than their parents may have had at any time in their lives. And if you teach them how to make plays, but don't teach them how to manage money, did you really prepare them for life? See, that is coaching too, and that's why I keep telling y'all, there is football, and then there's building men. And today, something else will change. On this Tuesday, as I say here, the gates will open in practice because Colorado is opening up Franklin Field from 9 to 11 a.m. The tickets went quickly, they gone. The official site says sold out. And I think that matters because for a week, Coach Prime took his football team away from everybody down to Colorado Springs. Closed practices, no distractions, no outside noise, just coaches and players. Colorado's own announcement explicitly said every Colorado Springs practice would be closed to the public. But now we're back at home and Coach Prime is essentially saying, come look at them. Come see what we've been working on. Come see the energy. Come see the competition. Come see the new coaches. Come see the new players. Come see what a week isolated in Colorado Springs produced. And don't understand the other part of this. Don't underestimate, I should say, the other part of this. These players have been beating on each other. Today they get to feel something different. The fans, the noise, the energy, expectation. Boulder reminding them exactly who they're playing for. And when those people start filing up in Franklin Field, just up there, I'm going to be watching the players, not the fans. Who gets a little extra juice? Who rises when people are watching? Who starts pressing? Who looks like the moment is too big? Because September 3rd ain't going to be a closed practice. Bobby Dodd Stadium ain't going to be quiet. And Georgia Tech damn sure ain't going to care about your training camp highlights. So today just isn't for the fans. Today is another level of evaluation. And that's where I'm at this Tuesday morning. Colorado went away to remove the distractions. They came home. They got a little freedom. And Monday they showed up ready to work. The offensive line suddenly has so many legitimate candidates that the coaches are talking about rotating them. Coach Prime is taking precious fall camp time to make sure players, coaches understand their finances. And today, on this Tuesday, he opens up the doors and lets Buff Nation see this team for themselves. So maybe the story of camp isn't simply who starts. Maybe it's who are these Buffs becoming? Because talent will get you talked about, but focus, discipline, financial intelligence, competition, and being ready when somebody opens the gates and turn the lights on, that's how you build a program. I am Uncle Neely. This is Morning Wood. I see y'all at practice. Man, let's get it.
Top wood. Top wood. Yeah.